Wait, I've never been in here. Whoa. Welcome, gentle viewers, to more blueprints. Day 50. Can you believe it? I can't believe I've made it to day 50. Last episode, we had quite a few events, including getting to 8th grade. And I haven't solved these worksheets yet, but I will. And I find that I'm missing something, because there is a trophy. Let's actually take a look at that real quick. You can see that in the trophy list. What is room 8 on rank 8? Ace the classroom final exam. So the final exam, it sounds like it's not in the 8th classroom. So I suspect there is another classroom room. And then we also discovered the first red letter after a lot of failed attempts at solving the lock for the small gate. So, yeah, we're doing good. We have some to-dos here. We still haven't opened the study safe. And I need to get the treasure room again. And light the candles in the torch chamber. And of course, get all the sanctum rooms. So there's a lot to do. I think what I want to focus on... Wait, what? Oh, you can see your progress. Complete the Mount Holly directory, 103 and 110. Bullseye trophy. Solve 40 dartboard puzzles. I only had 14. I'm almost done with the Parlor games, though. All 8 workshop contraptions, 5 out of 8. All realms jewels, yep. And that's the only thing. Okay. Alright. So, we'll grab our money. So, yeah, I want to try to make it to the study. I don't remember if there are any rules around that. But I guess we'll find out. I have my tea. It's extremely hot. What would help me get the study the best here? I think the shelter. So we also want to be able to do some experiments. And if I remember correctly, nice to get an extra gem here. Log into network. Really? Oh, okay, it's case sensitive. Remote terminal access. So we can start a experiment right away. Because I want to try, like, raising the radiation, which I think is if I do enough experiments, the radiation goes up, and in the shelter, I'll be able to unlock all doors in the house, which would be great. I've never done that before, and it's just a theory. But it's a very likely theory, because I got some experiments solved and checked the radiation, and it had gone up. Hey, whenever you draft a shop room, gain 1 key, gem, or die. Next 3 times you open a locked trunk. For each bedroom you draft after your second. Okay, so I think since we're trying to do this, I don't really benefit getting keys. So I think I want to do shop and gain 1 key, gem, or die, and hope I get gems or dies. Let's try it. All right. Exciting. Hmm. Yes, Parlor is a good start. Well, now I'm starting to be stressed. I've failed the Parlor puzzle like once or twice, I think. The blue box contains the gems. A box with a false statement contains the gems. The statement on the blue box is true. If this is true, then this is true, then this is false, and the gems are here. If this is true, then this is false, which makes the statement a contradiction. So they have to be here. You love a clean contradiction. Ooh, armory. Okay, last time, actually, that was another thing that was interesting. So we also got the treasure room for the first time. And we also got an axe in the armory for the first time, which was very cool because it allowed us to cut away the gem cost of a room. I kind of want to do this even though it's risky because it synergizes with our experiment. It's a shop. Experiment successful. And we got the axe. Yes, let's do it. Permanent progress. It's great. Okay, so if we go to the directory, I think I want to axe the cost of the passageway. Let's do it. Axed. Love it. Can we afford anything else? We'll maybe come back and get this when we've used all 3 shelter triggers. And we'll wait with this as well. Okay, we're in a bit of a risky spot now, but pantry is good. And kind of, I used to be really obsessed with raising my allowance, but I think I've chilled a bit with that lately. Okay, commissary is huge. It's the direction we want to go in. So that's another experiment down. I can't actually tell what we got. Did we get a gem? I guess so. Salt shaker is good. Oh, we all suddenly have 20. We got way more than... We're getting tons of money. What did the metal detector do again? Oh yeah, more items. That's pretty good. Let's get it. And sleeping mask. Spending all my money. That's not great. Den is saving us here. Oh man. Wait, using keys for this is fine. Well, nice. Let's hope it's fine. I still don't know if the experiment is going to be a success. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Okay, now I want something that spreads out and doesn't lock us in, damn it. Okay, this synergizes with the mask. We're still looking for the study. Awesome. Not great. I guess corridor. I don't love it, but I don't want to lose this track. Really need a left. Wait. Oh, shit. I got confused of where I was. I thought it was one to the left. Oh, well. What a rookie mistake. We don't need the laboratory. Maybe I'll get the furnace to get it out of the way. Is that crazy? I don't think it's that crazy. I'm gonna do it. It's so crazy. I'm not gonna go in because that's a waste of steps. Wait, there's money. Okay, going in. Give me the money. Okay, so not off to a great start. I think I need to be very careful. Is there something here that can help me? Ignore the negative effect of any one room. No, doesn't help me at all. Oh, right, I've had shelter, so furnace, of course, didn't trigger. Okay, dummy. Okay, so good. That was a good call, I think. Security is good. I wonder when it says the experiment unlocks all doors, does that include e-card doors? Either way, I think we want to set the security level to low for now. Getting this early is pretty damn good, even though it's a dead end. I think I want to do it. We'll come back here. So we'll be doing a lot of backtracking. This is also good. I think I'm gonna get it. So now we've used 2 shelters. Come on, steady, show up for me. Nice to get a gem. I love this feature of when you unlock these rooms, you get a free gem out of them. Or when you unlock these safes, I mean. Do I want to redraw? I think I do. That was a mistake. Fuck. Damn it. It's good to get rid of a dead end. I need to keep that in mind. This run might be over before it even begun. Please give me a straightaway. Fuck. Oh, I was so excited for this run. It was going so well. Damn it. Are you kidding me? I got to rank 3? That's embarrassing. If I can get the key card, let me just confirm something. Is there more? Yes. Oh, wait. Yeah, let me confirm something. And let's also buy... Oh man, I was so excited for this run. I'd set it up so well, and then my greed caused my downfall. So let's start by getting this one, so we get the extra star. It's been a long time since I've failed early on. Now, the fountain is full, unfortunately. However, we go down here through this tunnel. I don't have any useful items, no. I think if I have the key card, I would be able to get up in the foundation. But because I don't, I won't be able to. But it would be good to confirm that this is how it would work. Wait, I'm getting lost. Whoops. Oh man, I remember the first time I came into the Oppressive War, my mind was blown. Yep, if we had the key card, we could get up in the Foundation. Interesting, that makes the Foundation more useful if you're struggling with making progress and making mistakes like that. Alright, we're calling it a day. Damn. Cozy cottage. Yeah. I'm disappointed in myself. I've heard this intro 51 times now, and it's never gonna get tired. Okay. We are gonna go get something useful. Maybe if we get the shelter again, I might repeat this. Because it felt like a pretty decent plan. Okay, no shelter. But tool shed. Lockpick and metal detector. That's pretty good. I feel like there's two overarching goals in the game. Getting through all Sanctum doors and finding that train station where our mother might come home from. Is my theory. Okay. Let's extend this out right away. Let's extend this out as well. I'm gonna just be really good about getting lots of options. And this as well. Okay. So now we have 3 paths forward and 2 to the side, so I could take dead endings here without a worry. Yeah, like walk-in closets. I think that'd be good. Gem, coin purse, that's awesome. Key is good. And steps. Oh man, I just realized this was also, the last run was a sauna run. I had 90 steps. Rough. Nook is good. Nook is good. Actually, I think we have a new book to read. Well, that's exciting. I'm doing a bit of backtracking here, but it's for a purpose. Let's do the storeroom. Yeah, let's just get those dead ends out of the way. This is what the drafting guidebooks were talking about, and I never listened. Okay. I want the library, because it makes sense anyways. And I want to read a new book. Ooh. Wow, coupon and coin purse. The Curse of Blackridge by Redford Eveling. The only person that has ordered it is Simon P. Jones. December 27th, 1993. We're almost at 1994. And the last vision we got from Alzara was Simon in the Snow. So Blackbridge Grotto is the server room. So are we in Blackbridge? Is this area called Blackbridge? No, well, okay. The legend of Blackbridge is one that's well known to the people of the Grand Realm. For versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. With each new telling, the story has changed, becoming over the years more colorful, verbose, and as one might expect, increasingly horrifying. However, with so many renditions and unique personal touches, the task of confining and binding this tale to text seemed an ambitious and impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I have heard dozens of variations of the legend, and while the details would often change, I was surprised how much of the story's heart remained the same. This is a scary story? Yet the more I listened, the clearer it became that there could never be a definitive version of this tale capable of capturing all the wonder and myth of Blackbridge. In the end, I chose to write down what felt most authentic. The story my grandmother told me as a boy long ago. Part 1. The Berry Picker from Oris. Many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the locals deemed it appropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. They were feral outlaws composed of society's worst in a time when society was at its worst, and for each crime that fearful travelers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed, each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions, no crime could measure more wicked than the group's primary enterprise: high road robbery. One such member of this so-called band of rogues was a boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind a churchyard, relying on the nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyways to sustain his pitiful existence. Ugh, that's ridiculous. How can you survive on that? It is not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardships would take an easy road out, an easy and well-traveled road, paved with temptations leading out of the city and into the gentry lands where loose purse strings entwine with the strands of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jesper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. It was here that he met his surrogate family and saviors, that notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hounds. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to this vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and was often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. Aww. For this reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertakings, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked while the others slept soundly, tucked away in the cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. Only on one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave, berry basket in hand, and set out into the woods before the morning sun had even brushed against the tallest treetops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway dawn afforded meant Jesper, have I been saying Jasper? Jesper could reach the furthermost berry patches without worrying of being chastised by tarrying upon his return. It took over 3 hours on foot to reach his destination, and along the way Jasper had passed by many a familiar bush, all priorly pillaged and so bereft of berries that one would have dedicated several moments in earnest examination before finding a single one. Jesper was patient, but even patience has its limits. He was confident that even accounting for the time lost to this long stretch of travel, his efforts would be well worth the pains. Surveying the patches in this new grove surprised even Jesper. The red dots suspended among the leaves seemed as numerous as stars in the skies. Upon seeing such a bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, Jesper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates, who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute the success to hard work. Smiling at his plan, Jesper set off to fill his basket and was making steady strides in this task when the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him. And there we see a picture of Jesper picking berries. In Icelandic we say a tína ber. A carriage is approaching. The thought of it made Jesper freeze. Had he been so enchanted by his discovery that he had neglected to observe his surroundings? How could a roadway be so close? He ducked down and crept toward the impending sound, hiding behind one of the larger bushes nearby. It was only a moment more before the sound of source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jesper hid, an elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around a corner of trees, led by two beautiful white horses, and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jesper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. Even without ever having witnessed such a sight before, Jesper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jesper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. The little concealment the bush provided was soon proven unequal to the driver's lofty perch, and upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins with such effect that the noble steed slid to a sudden halt with a precise control. "You boy, get out from behind that bush," he shouted with a rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear. "You startled me half to death, coming around the bend of my own drive and seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not to be any face." What a way to speak. Jesper quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, and his dress was suitable for courtly behavior, not dashing through the bramble and mud. I was picking berries." Jesper raised the half-filled basket up to allow the driver to see the proof of his words. The demeanor of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jesper was familiar with. He had many times seen the same stern expressions on the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. That's so funny. Any suspicions that the driver might have had instantly evaporated, for even the notion of a member of the unholy hounds picking berries seemed farcical. The softened expression even made allowances for a smile. "Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here as a boy." Jesper took his cue to finally step forward out from behind the bush, proudly brandishing his basket. "I know, and what luck I found them. I have only just begun picking, and look how many I have. It would have taken me fourfold the time back home to procure this number." The driver bent down for a closer look. "And where is your home, boy? It must be quite far." Jesper replied with a scripted response. "A little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods." "My God, that is far. You couldn't have come all that way only this morning." It was true. Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction Jesper had traveled, and while that response would seem perfectly reasonable in a location closer to Blackbridge Canyon, he could see why it might seem less believable here. "Sir, I have traveled much farther for much less profit. I dare say there is no distance yet made by man that would not be worth undertaking for a prize such as these. Surely you have tasted them for yourself." Jesper felt happier with this response, as it seemed to amplify the man's smile. "In my youth often, but perhaps I took it for granted, because I never had to travel very far. And even then, my father would always drive us here in our carriage, so I'm ashamed I never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward." It was Jesper's time to smile. "Then let my efforts reward us both today." He raised the basket even higher. "A taste in memory of your youth, sir." Aw, this is sweet. What a sweet story. So far. The driver chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat to reach down to the basket. And at the moment his fingers touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his... Oh my God! The dagger in turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. Jesper caught the man's startled eyes. "And for that, I will have your purse, sir, in memory of my youth." The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he had ever been before. Whether unable or incapable of speaking, he did not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged at this particular time. Jesper let the basket drop, freeing his other hand to probe the man's pockets. Okay, for some reason, when I read the turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood, I for some reason thought he had just stabbed him in the throat, but no, he's holding him at knife point. Do not mistake me, sir. I will not kill you if you give me no cause. Though I will admit, the thought of taking your carriage and leaving you the indignity of walking appeals to me. Jeez, he is cutthroat. No pun intended. Unable to find a purse on the man's coat, Jesper pivoted to search the seat under him. Why have you no purse upon your person? The driver slowly raised his hand cautiously, pointing toward the carriage door behind him. Jesper lowered the knife's edge a small degree to allow the man to speak, which he did in turn softly. There's a lockbox in the carriage. Well, come down then and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands. A concession, I assure you, of my tender heart, for it would be much easier to slit your throat. The man started to comply, slowly lowering himself from the driver's seat of the carriage. Once down, Jesper guided him away from the carriage to a nearby tree where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hands behind his back. Excusing his inexperience, the man indulged Jesper while he figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile and kindness Jesper had seen on this man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory. In their place, cold, dark eyes displaying no emotion. I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you are showing me? Jesper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignored it, secured the final bindings, and then hastily returned to the carriage. With one hand on the door's handle, he turned back to the man. If there is no lockbox, there will be no clemency. Inside the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unswept, a stark contrast to the elegant, polished golden facade of the exterior. It had apparently been many years since a passenger had enjoyed the passage in this vehicle. This all but confirmed what Jesper had suspected. The driver of this carriage was not a liveried servant in the employ of some greater master. Any curiosity that this observation might have further produced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what rested under the carriage's backseat, a large wooden lockbox. Despite its hefty appearance, the box was surprisingly easy to handle. Within a few minutes, Jesper had dislodged it from its hold and carried it out into the sunlight. Inspecting the box carefully, two observations were made. Totemic symbols found carved on all four sides of the box hinted that the box was very old and likely not created by Orindian hands. It reminded him of artifacts from the old world and was presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusted yet robust padlock and would not open easily without a key. Jesper looked over to see the driver quietly observing him from his indentured position. Do you perhaps have a key you can provide me to open this box? Without emotion, the driver replied, There is no key to that box. Jesper stood up. Easy enough then. Okay, what's in the box? What's in that box? He headed over to a nearby rock of sizable dimensions and lifted the stone upon carrying it back to the box. If there was ever a time when that lock had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. With one hit, the stone had completely shattered the rusted lock. He bent back down and opened the lid. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled from stone. Without too much deliberation, Jesper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised how heavy it seemed, given how light the box had felt. Having expected to find something more akin to gold or gems, he looked questioningly to the man, hoping to find an explanation. The driver's smile had once again returned. You are cursed, boy, for deadly is the stone. You have opened that which should never have been opened, and you are cursed. Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and shoved it in front of his face. What is it? That's one. Feeling his disappointment rising to anger now, Jesper tightened his grip on the effigy. What, you mumbling agentor? Agentor? I think we can learn what that means. If we go to our book first, and then Gentor. Gentor sounds really familiar. First something. Gentor. I don't know. Yeah, interesting. And in God's name, why have you no purse upon your person? The man did not seem intimidated. 1 pace. He paused for effect. 12 more, and you will be dead. Oh, oh, that's creepy. It's like the ring, except for instead of days, it's taking steps. This ties into the game, how it works. Interesting. After you finish your steps, you have to go to sleep. And what is death other than just permanent sleep? He only had a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head and put an end to his cryptic ramblings. Ugh. If there was ever a time when the old man had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. Jesper looked down at the sculpted stone figure, now splattered red. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? He had, of course, heard stories of curses and had never doubted their validity in the past. But now that he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed, his mind pleaded with him to be skeptical. And if he was cursed, what difference would the knowledge make? A dozen more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, to say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. If he did not move from where he stood now, he could live maybe another 3 or 4 days, maybe more given the abundance of nearby berries. A plan that, if we ignore its obvious faults, might provide additional opportunities for help to come along. But what good would that do? To be discovered here beside a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated from berries, and raving about a curse that could very well not be real. No, it would most certainly be better to face one's fate now. Take a dozen paces and see if life goes on. I mean, if he gets on the carriage and rides forward, then he's not taking steps. But Jesper found his legs unable to make that first step. His mind was unable to convince his limb to waste away 1/12 of his life in a single motion. Feeling the desperation sink in, he hopelessly looked about him for a solution. And if by some stroke of luck the gods had heard his plea, a miracle materialized before him as he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. I called it. Oh, we see a picture here. The boy's not in it, but the man is dead. Looks like he had a sword. Interesting. 2 white horses and a carriage of golden trim were beside him, the answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the short number of paces back to the road. 4, perhaps only 3 if he jumped. He made a quick survey to see if there was anything he wished to grab before taking the plunge. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat, as that appeared to be of some value, but the additional risk of undertaking such a task too great to chance. And so, after a profound breath, he took his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th steps, though they were quite large. Seated now behind the horses, he reached for the reins and suddenly realized that he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would most certainly be better left here. If, on the other hand, the story was fictitious, there might be some appraisal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox, whose typical function oft secures objects of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destitution, Jesper found his mind equally reluctant to allow his hand to let go. If it is cursed and I die, if not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? And with that statement said aloud, to the horses seemingly, Jesper took up the reins with confidence. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? I love that. Part 2. Below the Black Bridge. Miller awoke to some light nudging from a familiar foot. Only one person would have the cheek to awaken her in such ill-mannered fashion. Shaking the sleep from her eyes, she glared up at him in the darkness, but did not say a word. He nudged her again, teasingly, and then stepped back into the den. After taking a moment for her eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave, Miller remembered. She was on 3rd watch today. Quietly collecting her things and wits, Miller turned as she left, waving to her young friend, who was more than likely already asleep. She crept through the cavern's main passage, careful not to wake the sleeping bandits around her. Like a hero in a book, she often mused. Quietly, she grabbed a bow from the haphazardly formed pile of weapons, shaking the accompanying quiver in the darkness to assess how many arrows it held. She then walked toward the sun-drenched mouth of the cavern, ready to start her shift. Above her, in one of the few trees found in the canyon, Miller could see that Ravia was already posted. She waved and Ravia waved back. Calling out to each other was strictly forbidden. Anything louder than a gesture in the canyon was forbidden. When Miller reached the tree, Ravia lowered a braided rope and pointed to the ground behind her. Miller turned, following the finger, and saw a pail of water resting beside a nearby log. She turned back to Ravia, nodded, and secured the pail to the rope. The pail went up first, and in turn Miller followed. Ravia reached across to grab the water. Miller leaned back to give her space. There was not much room for maneuvering in this tree post, unnecessary concession for the concealment the outpost demanded. Ravia tilted the pail to her mouth dramatically, illustrating how thirsty she had been. Miller laughed silently as water poured out, splashing onto Ravia's face. It was a bit too daring and noisy of a joke, and had the others been around, they would have certainly been scolded for the unwarranted sound. But Miller appreciated the efforts Ravia took to verbalize the silence of the morning. They had been on third watch together for over a month, and during that speechless time their friendship had grown into something special. Affection was unsurprisingly scarce among the unholy hounds. She had felt camaraderie before, of course, but intimacy never. From their elevated vantage, the girls could see both the concealed entrance of the cavern as well as a clear view of the bridge that spanned across the canyon. Blackbridge was the link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains, the overpass that connected Oris and Reddington. Okay, I need to do an interlude real quick. We have probably seen a map of this. Is this Blackbridge? Oh, I was hoping we'd be able to see it on a map. Oh, maybe we see a country map. Let's see, over here. No, we don't know. I think Reddington is somewhere here. I'd love maps of the countries. Oh, here. Reddington and Oris, yeah, there we go. So Blackbridge is somewhere between these two places. Okay. Doesn't tell me much. To the city-faring travelers of the realm, the bridge was an unavoidable crossing. In the day, the task was to ensure that travelers passed by without stopping. At night, the task was to ensure that they do. Like most of her band, Miller preferred the night. The biting glare of the sun might be tolerable to farmhands and bricklayers, but to a cavern-housed bandit, it was a source of constant annoyance. In the day, there was no shroud to conceal her expressions, nor to hide her thoughts. She felt exposed. Ravia touched her elbow and pointed up. Miller, striving to suppress a budding smile, subtly shook her head in response. There were many signs that the unholy hounds used in lieu of words, but the two of them had developed an extended vocabulary. Gestures quietly forged in the shared solitude of their months among the branches. She watched as Ravia shifted, placing her palms flat on the floorboards beneath them. Miller knew what she was trying to say, but shook her head a second time. It was often more fun to pretend not to understand. Ravia rolled her eyes and turned away, looking back to the canyon. Squinting through the leaves, the two girls held still, watching and listening. It was not long until Miller, too, heard the sounds of approach. Ravia held up two bent fingers, and a few moments later 2 men emerged from the bridge's southern end. They were dressed in familiar uniform. Long gray coats with black facings, white waistcoats, and black tricorn hats. They belonged to the local patrol, the Blackguard. So a Rindian, I guess. Although not an everyday occurrence, their presence at Blackbridge wasn't an unusual sight. It typically indicated an important traveler's impeding passage across the bridge. Information that the girls would promptly relay to their leaders as soon as the coast was clear. But this report, while exciting, was rarely acted upon. In Miller's 5 years in the Unholy Hounds, she had never once seen a carriage taken in open daylight when the blackguard was nearby. The men had nearly reached the bridge's north end when Miller heard the horses, faintly at first, but growing louder with each passing moment. Ravia's eyes met Miller's, the same concern mirrored in each other's expression. This did not sound like a typical carriage, cautiously approaching the bridge to cross. Instead of the familiar crunch of the high road's gravel, they heard the harsh clattering of hoofbeats against stone. Both girls quickly redirected their attention downwards, looking through the foliage. The sounds were not coming from the high road, but from the canyon itself. The horses were coming from below the bridge. In an instant, Miller had knocked an arrow and drawn her bow. Oh! Ravia was gone before the whisper had even left Miller's mouth. The young scout was already sliding down the bank below, racing toward the cave. There was no road that ran below the canyon. There was no reason for numerous horses to be approaching their cave. There was only one reasonable conclusion, and both girls had reached it instantly. The base had been compromised. This was a blackguard attack. The moment the horses came into view, Miller let loose her first arrow. She was surprised to see a carriage. She had expected cavalry, but before she even finished processing that thought, her second arrow was in the air. Without a trail, it would be unthinkable for a carriage to traverse such rough terrain. Yet she watched as the wheels jolted over the rocky riverbed. A third arrow was now in flight, and there would be no need for a fourth. The driver slumped over just moments before the vehicle dipped into a small ditch, slamming into an embankment. The force of the sudden halt immediately shattered the front two wheels and catapulted the driver from his seat. Utterly confused now, Miller quickly glanced over his shoulder to see if any horses were also approaching from the rear. Down in the canyon, the entire horde of the Unholy Hounds came spilling forth from the earth as if hell itself had suddenly sprung open. The group seemed even more bewildered than Miller, half asleep and tripping over one another in a desperate attempt to engage an unseen enemy in combat. Miller could see Ravia among their number, the only one looking up at her. Her expression was chilling. There would be no need for a silent gesture to convey what they both now realized. They had made a mistake. It was Jesper, wasn't it? The gang's chieftain, Joffrey Heartslasher, led the others cautiously approaching the crashed carriage like a suspicious fox would near a baited trap. There were no words exchanged as the group crept forward in customary silence. A dozen or so paces in front of the wreckage lay the far-flung driver, an arrow protruding from his broken body, and beside him a blood-stained effigy carved from stone. Is that the effigy? I can't really tell what it looks like. Miller was inconsolable. Jesper had always been her favorite. He had always shadowed her in the night, clinging to the hems of her every move, the way a child tails behind an older sibling. Tender-hearted, she had always called him, though deep down she had known that it wasn't quite true. His appearance of gentleness concealed a raw, resilient durability that emerged in the most perilous of situations. He had been a flower among the nettles of this cave, but he still had thorns, honed by a grim past and hundred hands of misfortune. They buried him in the darkness, in the back of one of the larger cavern rooms. That doesn't seem sanitary. He was interred with a berry basket and a silk handkerchief that he had treasured. The mysterious effigy they had found beside him served as a distinguished gravestone, a marker that stood out as somewhat special among the rows of similar swords, marking neighboring plots. No one spoke, not even in whispers. There was nothing to say. Wow. There it is in the center. I wonder if we're going to find this effigy, or if we've actually found it. And you can see Orinda. This is Orindia's crest, right? Dang. Miller awoke the next day to a thunderous shaking and rattling of the earth, a far cry from the playful nudging of the previous day. She strained to adjust her eyes, but the choking sting of a stirred-up dust caused her to flinch. Panic was also in the air. The sounds of scurried footsteps and clattering feet filled the space around her. But even in alarm, the silence was louder. What was it that sounded so strange? Miller closed her eyes tight and used her feet to guide her along the passage. The whispers around her were getting louder, and intense voices could be heard ahead. Louder speech than she had ever heard spoken in the canyon. A growing dread grew as Miller approached the mouth of the cave, her eyes now open wide despite the dust. Shouldn't it be day? Miller felt a hand in the darkness pulling at her. It was Ravia. The two embraced, and Miller did not need to see her to understand. Ravia placed two bent fingers against Miller's cheek, and with that touch against her face, Miller felt the same sinking feeling from the previous day. Two bent fingers confirmed what Miller had suspected. The girls had forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. An hour or so later, the screams began, blood-curdling cries of hopeless desperation. Captain Fodrick Lee of the Blackguard looked down from the ridge of the canyon to the collapsed entrance of the cave. Ah, he grinned. Now they speak. Oh my god. They were buried alive? What the hell? I was thinking they forgot to mention the Blackguard. So Jesper, like, drew attention to them with the timing. It was just bad timing, possibly. And they all died because of the effigy. And that's the end of the story. Man. I don't know what I learned. I usually don't, but that was a cool story. Very dark. This effigy seems significant. Well, that was very cool. A very long story. That was a lot of pages. I think this is the longest book we've read so far. Dang. Yeah, we can keep going. Feels weird to keep going after that. Workshop. I guess it would be cool to try to make stuff, but we don't really have many items. What do we have? We have the metal detector and lockpick. And sledgehammer. Okay. It's pretty cool. Pick sound amplifier. Can we see what that does? Or rather, not what it does, whether or not we've made it before, because I do want to try to make everything, all the contraptions. Are we here? 38 hours. Oh, I have made this. Okay. Then I'm not sure if I want to make it. Can I see what it does? Don't think I can. Was there like a book that showed us what we could make and what it does? I should have been writing down the items in the game. Why didn't I do that? Seems like an oversight. Well, I'm not going to make it yet because I want to see if I can make other things out of these things. That was a weird statement, but alright. Alright, let's keep going. Commissary, bedroom. Commissary would be good, I think. Since we have money. Shovel. Salt shaker. Maybe we can do something now? Detector shovel we've made for sure. Okay. Nothing yet. I'm wasting steps. Kitchen, actually, would be huge. Let's do that. Love me some bacon and eggs. And a club sandwich, why not? Let's just go overboard on the steps. Nice. Gift shop. I don't think there's anything I want to buy in the gift shop yet. Corridor. Yeah. Let's do that and then back up. I mean, go back. Back up. Let's go to the den. Secret passage would be fun, but let's do the boudoir. Get those dice. They're very useful, and we also get a gem out of it. But I can't forget, I'm still trying to get the study, and maybe the blueprints room that I don't remember the name of. Morning room. I think I just want to do a bedroom. I don't have the sleep mask now, unfortunately. Security would be pretty good. Yeah, let's do it. And we'll set... because we have a fair amount of keys, so I'm not too stressed about that, and we have the lockpick, so setting the security system to low is very useful. But now I'm doing the mistake I try to avoid, is having or drafting not enough dead ends. So let's hope that doesn't bite me in the back. Locksmith. I think locksmith would be good. Yeah, let's do it. Hello. Special key. What are we gonna get? Garden key. Love it. That's a great key. Damn. I want a right turn, please. Billiard room. Brilliant. It's crazy how many times I've drafted the parlor room compared to the billiard room. 3 squared is 9. 18 minus 16 squared? No, 18 minus the root of 16, which is 4. So 14? No. How do you do this again? $18 minus 16, which is 4, squared, which is 16. No. $18. 4 times 4 is 16, right? 4 times 3 is 12. Yeah, okay. Oh, wait. 18. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I'm just bad at math. 18 minus 16 is not 4. It's 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. Jesus. 10 minus 1 and 8 is 9. Times 3. No, sorry. 10. Yeah, it's 1 times 3 is 3. And the square of that is 9. Jeez, alright. Okay. I think chapel makes sense here. I don't mind losing the money, but let's go to the spare room. Money! There's money everywhere. Yeah, we need the gems, so this makes sense. And that way we can draft a dead end here. Car keys! Damn it! I just saw the garage. Okay, the empty boxes both have false statements. The blue box is false. The white box is empty. Okay, let's say this one is true. Then this one is... That's a contradiction. Let's say this one is true. Then this one is false. Which means the gems are in this box. Because this one can't be... No, wait. If this one is true, then this one is false. So the white box isn't empty, so the gems are in the white box, and that means this one is false. I think they're in the white box. Fuck! No! Wait, why? Oh, I was rushing too much. Oh, this one can't be true because this one was this one was false. No, this one was true. And this one was false. And this one was false. No, true. No, false. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm moving on. I'm pissed off. I feel like it's too late to do an experiment now. I don't really like the planetarium. There's nothing in it. I'm just gonna do a closet, even though it's not very beneficial. Thank you. It's nice to get it out of the way, at least. And now we'll go to the chapel. Man, I'm disappointed in myself. One day I'm gonna redeem this. I'm gonna redeem it when I have the bookstore and can buy all the rest of the books. That's my plan. Oof, not super exciting options here either. But I guess we'll just do the quest bedroom. Ooh, keycard. Nice. Awesome, okay. Well then we need to go back to the security room and set it to high. There's one coin somewhere. That thing rarely helps me being able to see what I'm missing because I extremely rarely miss stuff. And when I do, and I see that it's there, that I missed something, it's like you have to waste a ton of steps to find it. It's kind of silly. Armory's cool. Vault is dead end. Bunk room is dead end. Yeah, so the armory. Self-igniting torch. Now this is useful. I'm also gonna buy... No, I wanted the axe. Okay, so, hold on. What do I need now? If I want to make my dreams come true. I need... the pump room, is what I need. Let's buy this as well. Nice, and we have shovels. Any gems? No. And we can open doors. We'll try to open one of these because we'll get an allowance boost. Or enter one of these doors, I mean. Alright, let's keep going. Dining room is solid. Let's get that. We'll get our lunch box. Yummy, yummy. And what was beeping? Was the lunch box beeping? Guess so. Weird. Oh, gem. Nice. We'll go this way. Wait. Just use a regular key then. Redraw? Yeah, let's redraw. How many hallways do we have? 1, 2. We actually have 2. So I would get to double, or I would double my keys. Let's do it. And some money. Nice. Alright. Happy with that. Pool. Okay. We're getting the pool because that's what I want. That's why we're getting it, because I want it. And we have the sledgehammer. Yes. More gems. This is going very well. And even a door. Master bedroom would be kind of huge. I'm gonna go for it. When do we get the steps? When we enter? Yeah, then I'm gonna draft this door. Wait. Regular key. Courtyard, yes. Nice. Bunch of dice. And a little diggy hole. Bunch of steps. Oh, the crown is here. Funny. I don't love this, but for each time you have drafted treasure trove. Oh, that's cool. Now, I put in my to-do list, which really should be right under the title, because it's the main thing I'm focusing on. Draft treasure room again. Why? This is a huge mistake, actually, if I do this. I shouldn't. Yeah, I can't do this. There. And we're gonna go into the master bedroom now. 31 steps, thank you very much. Keys. That's the map. Is there no way to look at it? The map of the underground. Wish we could look at it. Did we ever read the text here? I think so. Yeah, it had something to do with the fact that the book is censored. We'll get our dinner as well. Yummy. We have an aquarium. You know what? I'll actually wait. We might get an aquarium. There's no reason not to. Think that. And we have tons of steps already, so we don't have to worry about our steps. Okay, this is where I wanted to use my silver key. There we go. I think we do aquarium. Because we don't have the center antechamber door open, we just have the left and right. East and west. I can't believe I haven't found the study. I've been incredibly unlucky with all that. Office, I guess. Get a gem out of it, so that's nice. Shall we spread some gold? Because I know I need to do a bunch of backtracking. We have a bunch of keys. What is with this luck? Gymnasium, I don't mind losing 2 steps. And... yes! More allowance! And the key, for some reason. I have no use for it. Awesome. Sauna. Get a gem out of it, and next run will be nice. The cool thing is we can actually keep going here. So maybe we'll get lucky. Yeah. Actually, dark room is probably the better thing to do here. Yeah, I think so. And then we'll leave it and go to the aquarium. I have to remember that there's supposedly gold, but I have my detector, metal detector, so that makes it easier. Oh, why did I do dark room? That was kind of pointless. Silly. Let's redraw. Come on, study. Oh, man. Ooh, rotate. Huh. Interesting. I'm running out of rooms here. I really need to study your freaking pump room. Honestly, this is fine. Let's do that. Go back here. Do the run payroll. I think I can do that now. Yep. Then we'll go to the dark room. I know there's a lot of backtracking, but we have the steps for it. And we have a whole dinner waiting for us with 30 steps. Let's just try something. Come on, study. Ooh. Wait, I've never been in here. Adjust the rarity of the floor plans in your house. Oh. This Baroque arboretum showcases and preserves the rarest specimens of every type and variety. Through selective propagation, the gardener here may influence which flora or flora will be considered commonplace during the next season. It's drafting, green room addition, unusual. And this is the first time we're here. Wow. In the conservatory, you will be able to permanently adjust the rarity and rates that determine how often certain floor plans are drawn. Rarity changes can be reset using the directory in this room. Oh my god, the study, what a coincidence. Floor plan conservation. It's unusual, and we can put it to commonplace. Let's say choose plan. It's also unusual. Oops. And this is also, oh, this is rare. I don't really like this room though. Let's see. We can read about it though. Rare flora and flora plants are seen so seldom and presented with so few numbers that they are considered by many to be endangered. Without serious conservation efforts, many of these rare specimens may never be seen. Unusual is a term preserved for the flora plants that are encountered on occasion, the infrequency of which may contribute to their apparent prestige. Standard rooms are of the garden variety, not common enough to be a nuisance and not rare enough to be elusive. Commonplace flora plants are often classified by conservationists as the weeds of the drafting pool, for their overabundance prevents other less common rooms from flourishing on the estate. Okay. Maybe this is stupid, but would it make sense to set this to commonplace, and then once I've solved the room, change it? Or should I do the workshop and set it to standard, or commonplace even? Because it allows me to go through it, and I'll have more opportunities to build stuff. I really don't know. Because I don't really like the benefit of the study. It's very rare that I've actually made use of it. I'm gonna do the workshop and make it commonplace. And is this the only one I can change? Oh, I can wait. What? Oh, I can change it. Oh, I didn't realize I could change all three. Okay. Let's make this standard, maybe? Oh, interesting. But will I only be able to reset it if I get the same rooms this time? Wow, okay. I don't know if I'm doing making smart decisions here. Pump room. We are grabbing it. Because I want to try something. We want to empty the fountain. So maybe we'll just fill up the pool. I'll probably just cut to me being done with this, because it takes a while. Alright, that was pretty easy. So now the fountain is empty. I wish I could actually turn the lights on here, because there's always good loot. Now the fountain is empty. Bunches of money, thank you very much. I really want a shop now. What special do we... Oh, I have the basement key. It's so funny. Of course, the laundry room shows up now. The study! Oh my god. It's happening. We are going to solve this damn puzzle. It's a small date. All is underlined. Thursday. There's some serial number there that it couldn't see properly. I've tried to solve this puzzle so many times, though. $65 meters, 8 meters, 6.5 meters. It's funny, I'm in the process of moving. I just bought a new place, and I'm, like, so obsessed with blueprints now. I'm, like, recreating the place. I haven't started moving, and I'm recreating the place, and I've made, like, a Blender 3D blueprint of the house, and now I'm, like, placing little furniture things to see what makes sense. It's quite fun, actually. Damn, okay, well, hold on. What's that? That's a clock. The hands seem like the same length. This can't be our uncle's travels, can it? No, these are like shipping lanes. Although it does tell me like where he could have gone. Interesting. I'll look over this later in the recording. I feel like this is the most significant part of the puzzle. The chessboard. Is this the same blueprint? That's the dining room. I think. Sort of. Or is it the conference room? I can't tell. These actually don't look like rooms that we have. 44 letters in the message. Let's see. If we count small gates, F is here. This is a regular chessboard. D8, date. Is that a coincidence? The queen is on D8. Don't know if it's possible with so little time left, but I need to remember to ask Anna if we can commission new artwork for all the rooms of the house. Sets of 2. Pulled off by Thursday. Thursday. What is the date that we show up? Simon arrives November 6th. November 6th is 06/11. 11 or 1106. Do we know when Synca Company is founded? Is that something we have information about? 44 letters in the message. There's a date somewhere. Why is this picture frame empty? I wonder if Mary was in it. There's a date somewhere. 48. Just... Are there shadows that are going to tell me? There was one time where I checked what the date was in 1993, or what weekday it was. If I go back in my calendar real quick to 1993, because he was talking about Thursday. Thursday. 1993, November. Simon arrives on the 6th, which is a Saturday. The 4th is Thursday. All work at Mount Holly is suspended. He dies on the 3rd. So he must... This must be the 1st or 2nd of November. Or the 31st of October, 30th of October, 29th of October. Sure, like, you wouldn't say Thursday, right? Until less than a week is away from that date. So he's in here, he's writing this. He knows he's about to die. So we could try 30th. 30, 10. I mean, I find that unlikely. So let's try 0, 1, 11. 0, 2, 11. 0, 3, 11. That's when he dies. Or 1993. 29th. 10. No. Thursday was the 4th. Did I try that? 4, 11? It's the day they all stop working. Does it have something to do with the Queen? This is the place you're ideally learning about the paintings or the drawings. So it's a significant place in contributing to figuring out, if we count small gates, 8 dates, crack 8 safes. Are there any small gates here? Why is this candle here? Two, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. I think it says. 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. I'm probably going to do a lot of editing in this video for this room. I've been recording for 2 hours now. It's bad. 44. Okay, I'm just gonna look for numbers. So the only numbers we have in this room are... this number I can barely see. I find that unlikely. We have 44 here, but that's a clue for other things. We have these numbers, and then we have blueprint numbers. 4 meters, 6.5 meters, 5.9 meters, 48, 7 meters, 8 meters, 48. Why is the... I'm trying to see... So this room has like a total size, 48. And this one doesn't. Because the book is on top. No, wait, 65. Oh, never mind. Okay. Right? Am I misunderstanding? 48. 65. I don't know. 48. 65. 65, 48. Width. The syntax here is so weird. Oh. Oh, W. No, it's not W, it's meters. This is 65. Huh? 65 meters. 8 meters. This is 65 meters. Am I... And this is 65 meters. This is 6.5 meters. I'm so confused. Six 0.5 meters. Is this a square? It looks like a square. 6.5 meters. 6.5 meters. Oh, okay, I see. So 6.5 meters times 6.5 meters. And here is 8 meters times 6.5 meters. And 6.5. $48. Okay, I'm gonna do some math here. 8 meters times 6.5 is 52. That doesn't make sense. Oh, is it because it has like that little corner? So, wait, 7 meters times 6.5? 45.5? What's 6.5 times 6.5? 42.25. How do you get... No, it's not 48. What is wrong with me? It's 8 meters. Or is it? Is it 48? Are we looking at 48 or 8 meters? I think it's 48. How do you get 48 out of this? I don't know. I don't know why I'm trying to figure this out. This is 4 meters. 4 meters, 4 meters. These blueprints don't make any sense to me. I mean, 6.5. Is this just a giant red herring having these blueprints here? Detailing sizes? 6.5 meters. 8 meters. 7 meters. Oh, this is the same room. Right? Or like it's shaped the same. No, it's not. Maybe it is? Yeah. It's just rotated differently? We're just looking at... Yeah, I think so. There's this 7 meters here. What is... How do you get 48? 48 divided by 8 is 6. 6 times 8 is 48. That's how you get it. This looks like 80, right? The furniture here. It's like 2 chairs or whatever, and or 08. Is there furniture here that spells something? I am gonna be here all day. Wish I could crouch. Look under some tables. Find some gum. You see something here? No, it doesn't feel like it. Why does it say 6.5 meters width? And then it says there 6.5 meters as well, next to the couch. And 7 meters there, and 8 meters. What's 48 times 48? 2,304. Let's try that for some reason. What if I count the number of blueprints? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Zero, 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 7? Where are there empty frames? Wait, why does this frame look so different than the others? Weird. This is just a lazy graphics thing. That little line in the middle of the frame. Do I have to count the number of books or something? Something ridiculous like that? Yeah, this is the same room. Just in one of them, it has couches. And the other one, it has a conference table. Or a dining room table. That's the only difference. Why? The sizing of this is all over the place. What if it's 8048? How crazy would that be? See, that's like 8048, the furniture, and then the number. My heart always skips a beat every time I press enter because I'm like so hopeful that it's gonna unlock, and then it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't want me to solve today's date. Because that's already, we already do that. The time lock safe makes you do that. Has to have something to do with this. D8 can't be a coincidence. Queen. D8. Date. Queen. Is there a month that starts with 8? No, I mean D. I don't think so. Oh, December. Oh, stupid. I'm losing my mind here. I don't even know what the names of the months are. December, D8. December 8th? Can that be? Oh my god. Yes. Thank God. I'm so happy and sad. So many emotions. I'm so tired. Been recording for 2.5 hours almost. D8, December 8th. I kept thinking date. Like, I think I just forgot. Like early on when we came into the room, I thought about D and I thought, like, I had a fleeting thought about the names of the months, and then I was like, there's no months with a D. And completely dismissed it. And then I started thinking about it again. It's freaking December. Am I an idiot? Oh my god. It's number 2. It's right after this letter, which was on May 8th. That was the solution of that one. So now we're December 8th. Interesting. Okay, let's read it. December 8th. M. Be prepared for our plans to be set in motion in a month or 2. It's all lining up and all of our hard work is about to come to fruition. I have just learned that several members of the museum guard are sympathetic to our cause. We suspect 2 more to be pure opportunists whose loyalty extends only to their coin purse. Your uncle... Oh, M for Mary. Your uncle has already agreed to let us use Mount Holly's flexible floor plan for a trial run. Assuming the red print we have secured off the museum's closed exhibit is in fact accurate and up to date. We should begin these trials without delay once you arrive. If you can, within the next 2 months, fabricate some fiction that might alleviate us of the presence of the servant staff until we meet on the shore of White Sands, Caleb. Oh, whoa! Closed exhibit. The doors in this room are security locked. Holy crap. And here's the damn blueprint again. Oh, is that what this was? Something related to the exhibit? What? Okay, that's huge. We're gonna be able to go to the exhibit, technically. And this is actually giving us a date that we can put down, because... So Mary's not in the country, she's on her way. There's somebody named Caleb. And if we look at the Red Room here in the archives... Thieves broke into the royal capital of Fenris have broken into one of the Crown's fabled closed exhibits. September 2nd. So that probably happened on September 1st. They stole the crown, which is now... the damn crown is in the coat check. It's been there for so long. I need to get it. I barely even remember what it does. Okay, so what this means is September 2nd. So what we can do here is put a text here in between. May 8th. Wait, we do know who Caleb is, don't we? Hold on. Caleb, yeah. Caleb Manning and his publisher, Philip White, were 2 or 3 dozen names appeared in the leaked dossier naming person of interest in the Trinsdale bombing. This was November 86. Yeah, Caleb. And let me just confirm, there's a picture of Caleb. Manning and Caleb. Or Caleb Manning. Yeah, hold on, okay. I'm gonna put... Did I write them down? Caleb Manning, yeah. Here we go. Need my hierarchy. Caleb Manning. Author, Trinsdale bombing suspect, author of the history of Orindia, helps Mary steal the crown of Orindia. Okay. Okay, so let's just put this in though. May 8th, Caleb writes to Mary with regarding their plans to steal the crown. Wait, this wasn't May 8th, this was December. Sorry, this is, I got my dates wrong. Hold on, we need to read this again. December 8th. Prepare for plans to set in motion in a month or 2. If you can, within the next 2 months, fabricate the fiction. So, but it's not until September. Is there really almost a year until... So, December 8th, 1996, which means this goes here. This timing isn't making sense to me. Mary disappears. Am I wrong about the dates here? Hold on. She disappears, and then in September, the crown is stolen. Disappears in 87. December 8th. Until we meet on the shore of White Sands. Caleb, this is also significant. The White Sands. We need to figure out where the White Sands is. Okay, so I'm unsure where this is, but I guess it must be here. Mary leaves the Ruffington Post due to creative differences. Okay, well, we'll have it here for now. Maybe we'll get more details about it. And let's add our red letters. I'm actually shocked that I've gotten so much done. All right, so we have letter 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We are missing 3. That's the only one we're missing, and Aldara said we would never find one of them, that one of them was gone forever. That is wild. I can't believe. But don't I have a safe that I haven't cracked yet? Open study safe. Check that. I don't know if there's any other safes we know about. Maybe it's not gone forever, but we don't know where to go. Okay, that took a ridiculous amount of time. I need to hurry this up. And the only way out is all the way back. Now the pool's full. We'll grab dinner. We have a ridiculous amount of steps still, which is lovely. And we can buy more if we need to. I'm gonna buy this just to get the extra star. Oh, there's a banana here. I forgot, of course, the secret garden spreads fruit. There's another banana over there, and money. Jeez. We're here. Here. This became a very complicated house. And I need to remember to keep an eye out for... Oh, here. The things I spread. Fruits and veg. I mean, fruits and... No, veg. Yeah, fruits. And money. Okay, since we're here all the way at the start, we're gonna go down the fountain and accomplish another thing I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Which I'm very excited about. Getting dizzy. I hope you aren't. Okay, so part of what I'm also trying to figure out is... how do I get into the boat with the water at this level? Anyways, we are going here. And in here, and we're gonna light the torches. Finally. I thought we were gonna light them. Self-igniting torch can light special candles and ignite oh, there we go. Woo! God. Holy crap. I was not expecting that. it's dark in here. Where the heck are we? Really dark in here. I hope you can see. Another one of these. The foreman's logs. Foreman's log 20. After waiting the better part of 3 weeks for equipment to be carefully hoisted down the cliffside one piece at a time, the wait is finally over. Today we begin our formal foray into the mountain and begin excavation of the first tunnel, the first of many. To prevent future delays, Thomas Sinclair has generously volunteered to install a freight lift to facilitate both personnel transport. However, after seeing his ornate designs, one can't help but feeling the Baron's delicate taste might be better suited for the ballroom crowd. Regardless of the particulars, I'm sure my crew won't object to riding down through the tunnels in a fashionable style. That's the elevator we've already unlocked, I think. We're in... Now it says we're in an abandoned mine. Have we been to an abandoned mine before? Don't think so. The grounds. I'm not sure where this belongs right now. Sealed entrance. Oh, abandoned mine. Okay. Yeah, we do have that. That's part of this. I will collect these together sometime. All the logs and in order of date. Okay. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Oh, this is here. Oh, interesting. Oh. Aha. I'm gonna solve this now. Okay, so this is just a shortcut. This is a shortcut that means I can get to this side of the reservoir at all times. Which means we can play around with the reservoir itself much better. Yeah, this is very useful. So we can always come here because we have the elevator unlocked, which means we can always come here or on the other side of the reservoir and take the boat over. This unlocks something for us, something useful, but I'm not 100% sure I understand what. I'm gonna have to think on that a bit. Well, we don't, for one, we don't have to, right. We can fill up the fountain. There's no reason to have it like this. So let's actually make sure we do that now. So this allows us to have the pool always empty. And it allows us to adjust the reservoir quite well. The pump room is so far away. Okay, well, we're gonna finish drafting. Hold on, before. This has been a good episode. I get to check another thing off my list. Light candles in torch chamber, baby. Awesome. God, this game is so good. I can't believe how good this game is. I made so much progress this episode. I kind of want to buy... I really want the bookstore. Getting the bookstore would be great now. More than enough steps. We don't have to worry about it. Okay, there's probably some holes to dig. I wish I could leave the elevator downstairs. Having the key card would allow you to always get to this point in the map and draft. That would be incredibly convenient. Alright, let's start this side because it's a dead end anyways. Or like... Well, they're both dead ends, but whatever. We could do treasure trove now. That's actually really good. Let's do it. Second time in the treasure trove. Now there's more money here. Is there no crest here for me to see? Okay, oh yeah, the reason I wanted to is to see if this had a different message now than last time. Green memos and white boxes are always lies. What did it say last time? The green memos you find in this room will always be true. Okay. This is why I wanted to draft it again. To see, because this is not a green memo for sure. So we get another interesting. Okay, okay. Okay, so that's this goal. So now I know that I want to keep drafting the treasure room to see more messages. Vault, observatory. I don't need the money. Let's end with a planetarium just to bump up our stars some more. Like, why not? Now also, I think I want to raise the rarity of the study. Because I don't really like it. It's nice to be able to redraw, but it's a dead end. Gift shop. Yeah, let's do that. Although I don't think there's anything I want to buy. When is this coming out? Yeah, I can't even afford anything except for Swimbird. Or like, yeah, I can't afford anything. Can I? No. Redraw? Showroom would actually be huge. Because we can buy our lovely pendant. Yeah, this is always a good purchase. Sweet. Next episode we're gonna have the sauna and the gift shop, and I think the morning or breakfast room. Now we don't have any gems, so I actually do need to do some backtracking. I'm just gonna make absolute certain that I do as well as I can. So let's buy some gems. As many as we can. This is the second time I'm filling the house, I think. I'm not sure, but I think so. 46. Oh, that's the day. Wait. Why does it say 46? I don't actually know. Weird. Secret passage is useless. Okay, nothing interesting. Let's redraw. Next time you enter boudoir, the next time you walk into the closet. Let's look in here again. It's beeping. Oh. So this is still something we need to solve. We don't have the key for this. I wonder... So peaceful. Her leadership's diary is locked. Is there not a key in here? That would be crazy. I wonder if we go to the key room, this key will be available again, or suddenly. Okay, so I want to go to the pump room and the conservatory, so I have to go really, really far. So bear with me. I wish I could have the map open while we're walking. Not actually going to use our money. Buying all the bananas. And we don't have anything new here. Can we do anything with the key card? There's nothing new we can do here, fortunately. Okay, let me double check that I've actually made the detector shovel. I'm not 100% sure now. Yeah, okay, yeah, I have. So I wonder if I craft one of these things. You know what? I think I will do that, because that'll reduce the amount of items I have. So like if I craft the... Not the detector shovel, I want the... What is it? Lockpick, yeah, the pick sound amplifier. Don't quite remember what it does. Greater chance of picking high sensitivity locks, right. And that's the only thing I could make. Okay, so now there's fewer items in my inventory and I'm more likely to start with something better. So I have a lot of items. So the moon pendant isn't that useful. I'm not gonna get that banana. And where do I go from here? Where do we go from here? Oh, yeah, I wanted to check the key shop. Nope, just keys. Maybe one day, if we buy a special key, we'll just randomly get her ladyship's safe key. Oh my god, no bookstore. As much as I wish. It's like my favorite room in the game. Or one of my favorites. I have to go so far. This isn't where I parked my car. Hold on. This was a crazy safe puzzle. Okay, so study. Let's just make it. So maybe I want to make it rare. But unusual is probably pretty good too. Maybe this is a really good room. I don't know. Whatever. Alright, so now I'm gonna build a fountain again. Because I don't need to empty it ever again. So bear with me. Alright. It's good enough for now. There's some other things I know I can do, but I'll do that in future runs, including reservoir stuff. Now I want to go all the way to the Planetarium. Oof. We're gonna call it a day. This was a really fun run. Shame the episode started with a complete failure of a run. Maybe I should just cut it out. But no. I would never. The only times I cut stuff out is when I completely fail to record and things get corrupted and break. I so rarely go in here. Wait. Wait, what? What is the... Hold on. Gain an additional effect of each constellation observed in the observatory. But we're in the planetarium. Wait. The prompt went away. Huh? Whoa! What's happening? What? Daija, the Untamed. Starting tomorrow, each planetarium will contain one trunk. What? Did that just happen? Daija, wait, hold on. That's one of the planets, right? Where's our solar system? Yeah, it's the ringed planet. Whoa. So, each time we come in here with a telescope, is that what it's called? Yeah, telescope, we get to observe one of the planets and, like, upgrade the planetarium. That's so cool. We're at 38 now. Other notable nights. We're gonna be at 47 different constellations observed in a single night. Okay, so tomorrow... we're gonna miss it. Wait, where's our constellation number? 38. We're gonna miss it, yeah. Call it a day in the planetarium, gain 1. Or gain 2. Damn, it's a shame. On a 50, a new constellation is spotted. So let's do it anyways. Calling it a day. Oh my god, so many secrets in this episode. This game just has layers upon layers upon layers upon layers. It's an onion. It's a never-ending, delicious onion. Mount Holly, garden shopping center of the dead. Of the dead? Why? It's because of the treasure trove? I took the tool shed, not the tombs. Incredible, absolutely incredible. I love this game so much. All right, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, please like it and consider subscribing so that you can stay tuned for future episodes. This is just so much fun. I'm glad you all are on this journey with me. And I don't know how long this journey is going to be. We'll have to see. And see you in the next episode. Bye bye!